Hi everybody, hi every spirit, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. It's just Derek Cloudsurfer here with Miss Daarya, ready to start another episode of our beautiful podcast, Spirit to All.
Hi everyone.
Thank you very much for being here. Your support is greatly appreciated. We wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings and emotions,
A
and
whole bunch of individuality, creativity, and responsibility.
remember to check the links in the description down below, our link trees and ways to support us. Huge shout out to My SoulGroup and to Miss Daarya's SoulGroup. We are SoulGroup to each other. And to a huge shout out to everybody out there changing the world right now by being themselves as well. So, welcome. Here we are, ready to talk about our experiences and the testimonies of our travels. I hope you guys have been enjoying the past episodes, and today we'll be having some more interesting topics to talk about. So, let's kick off with Cancer season. Cardinal water season is here, and the summer as well. So, it's like in a day that we'll be entering Cancer season, and that means that things going to get way more emotional, not just in Cancer season but throughout the whole summer, because the summer is more juicy, it's more hot, there is more interaction, there is more movement, there is more friction, and all of that creates more emotion or more expression of those emotions. And the expression of those emotions will come out of whatever you have been doing on the cardinal season, aka spring, and on the cardinal season of summer, aka the first part of summer, the first 30 degrees of summer, Cancer season. So whatever you're doing on those 4 months, then in Leo and Virgo season, you're gonna express about it, you're gonna see it in the world, you're gonna see it everywhere, you're gonna see everybody's like that. So I hope you already have been planting some good seeds. And I have good news for you. If you wasn't planting good seeds, Cancer season is here to make you and everybody have the opportunity to start a new internal, new emotional, new subconscious cycle, so you can clean everything, you can bring new water to your garden. Okay, you can bring some new seeds as well to your garden, because it's cardinal water after all.
Yeah.
Right? Creating new ways to feel, creating new ways to imagine, creating new ways to connect, creating new ways to take care as well. So we have an opportunity to create a new cycle, to create a new way to love and connect with ourselves and the world, and that will bring us into a more emotional, more juicy, and by default easier to manifest time. But if you plant bad seeds, or if you're not in sync with yourself, if you do not love yourself, you can manifest that faster as well.
Yeah, because right now, as you said, during this Cancer season, we are going to be experiencing more of what we learned in the Aries season. So by default, it's a square.
It's a square between Aries and Cancer.
Yeah, it's a 90 degrees angle, so it's by default a learning opportunity. And what we are going to be expressing right now and paying attention to is, in a sense, how we learned, and what we learned. We are going to be expressing what we learned during Aries season and throughout onto right now Cancer season, but more emotionally, more connective, in a more subconscious way.
Because in every season you learn about yourself.
Yourself.
You learn how to be yourself in the world, how to be with yourself, by yourself.
Yeah.
Then in Cancer season you learn how to connect that, or you learn how to find the best people, places and things to connect in a way that caters to whatever you were doing on Aries season.
Yeah.
But that brings frustration, that brings roughness, that brings a bit of conflict sometimes, because not everybody, not every place, not everything is for you. So you might have right now an attachment, a connection that it's not for you. And on Aries season, you might have changed. You changed your personality, and those relationships or those things are not good for you anymore. So now you need to learn how to detach from it.
Because that's the learn.
For an
how you
example,
learn.
or you might be too lonely, you might be too selfish, you might be too exalted with your solar plexus, and you need to connect. You need to lower your solar plexus. You need to learn how to actually listen more to others, for an example, and that can create a confliction.
Mm-hmm.
We're just opening the door for our cat. Hold on. But other than that, with the arrival of the summer, with the arrival of the Cancer season, we also have, it's easier to be happy, it's easier to be uplifted, it's easier to be excited, it's easier to feel more in general,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to be seen,
Yeah.
it's easier to be heard.
And really, because Cancer is all about initiating your own feeling about something, your own way to feel and to internalize, and how you feel about the situation, and make others see that, make others know.
Hear that with
Yeah.
impact.
With impact and clearness, because it's clear water. There's nothing attached to it because it's new. So by it being new, it's something that might even scare some individuals, or
Yeah.
might even scare you, because you are so upfront with your own emotions and feelings.
Yeah, indeed. And Mysterious said something like clear water, and that might even push away certain people or certain spirits that were around you, because they were attached to something that was in your water. They were attached to something that was in your space. They weren't attached to your space. Okay, you didn't have a spiritual ship. You didn't have a spiritual purpose, right? So the water gets clean, and because the thing they were attached to is not there anymore, because the water is clean, they might go away, or they might be really mad at you.
Mm-hmm. Because it's you are cleaning basically people, places, and things that were attached to a certain, a certain thing, or a certain something that you had instead of something that you are.
Infinitely.
So
Infinitely.
that's Cancer season brings a lot about that clearness and clairvoyance about who you connect with and who you really call family, because that Cancer is all about fourth house. It's all about you
family,
creating
fourth house, family.
a foundation, creating your own sense of comfortability. It might not be people that you call the whole generality calls society as in bloodline or whatever.
Yeah.
You choose who is your family.
True.
And that's
you
how
create your family.
and that's how Cancer season plays out in all of our lives.
Yeah.
Is that area where you really know how you can call someone a brother without someone being a brother, but
of
you
blood,
feel really connected to someone, where you can talk to them, you can be yourself, you can express your own emotions and feelings without being ashamed or bashed for. So you feel comfortable and able to deal with your emotions and clear your own waters with the people, places, and things that also are able to express themselves and clear their waters and connect with each other in a more clear basis, so you know what each other is going, what are you going through.
Yeah. And just to finalize this topic, it's just that Cancer season is a great opportunity, as Mr. said, to clean your own waters, to clean your feelings about yourself, about the world, so you can start fresh, attached to the right things, because you have to find, we all have to find something to attach, right? And right now in Cancer season is a great opportunity to find the right things, or to find that you need to attach more to something, or you need to detach for something, but we want to pay attention to something that we want to attach. Keep that in mind. It's very important to know what not attach to, but it's more important to know right now, because it's Cancer season, to know what to attach to. That's more important right now.
So you have a sense of comfortability and security during this whole season,
That supports you throughout the whole year.
your own individuality, your own creativity, so you are not just seeing what is bad in your life or who you don't like in your life or who you don't want in your life, which is very good to know. Always important information to keep in your vision, but also know what you want so you can strive for something and be able to feel secure about whatever you are focusing on.
Basically, learning how to be more unique and individual and express, learn how to be unique, individual, and express your own feelings, emotions, connections, and spiritual senses as well.
Yeah, be able also to create your own emotion and feeling about something.
Create your, don't get attached to others.
Yeah.
Create your own,
Because
indeed.
Pisces is all about getting involved in other people's emotions and feelings and getting your emotions and feelings involved in others. And with Cancer is much more direct, much more unique, much more individual, because cardinality is all about individual will, individual power to create something.
And then fixed energy is the manifestation of that individuality.
Indeed.
And mutability is the adding on to that individuality,
Or
create an
destroying.
associate, or destroying, or associate it with others.
Yeah, indeed.
All right. And because we were talking about individuality, let's jump to the second topic, which is a personal experience of me as a terrestrial cloud surfer. As we talked about in the last episode of the last week episode of this podcast, we are still going through, and we were going through on this last week, through the last decan, through the last 10 degrees of the Gemini season, which is ruled by Aquarius, those last 10 degrees. So we were on the Aquarius decan of Gemini season. And I want to just share with y'all how I learned, or how that energy, that influence helped me learn how to be more serious and effective about relaxing and resting. Because to me, I have like an Aquarius stellium, so sometimes it's kind of hard to chill and relax. I can be doing that physically, but it can be hard mentally. And with Gemini energy, that mutability helped me be more flexible, more light, helped me be more like a rubber band. I can stretch a lot without breaking it. And because I had that support energy of the Aquarius decan, it was easier to relate to all of the chakras and the perspectives that I created in that area. So I was really able to see, I was really able to do, because my son is also in Aquarius, right? He's part of that stellium. And I realized with real eyes, right, how easy and powerful it is to, or I discovered the most powerful and easiest ways for me to do that. And now I can see the juice, I can see the fruits that I created just by resting and relaxing for real. And it's kind of ironic, right? Being serious and effective about relaxing and being serious. But that's how I did it. Because of that Aquarius stellium in my 5th house, I kind of have to be more serious about that, but not too serious. It's because I have Libra rising, so it's all about that balance point, right? So basically, these last 10 degrees of Gemini season helped me get into that balance point, because it was easier to see and do and realize all the gifts that the Gemini season brought me on the other 20 degrees, on the other 2 decans. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to share this with y'all, because I really enjoyed that process. It was a small transformation. It was really good. And I feel great right now. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, because it's very important to rest and to take time for yourself, and for you to process your own emotions and feelings and your own thoughts in the best and the most stable and fixed way.
Yeah. Because that's one of the big reasons why I can relax mentally right now, or more, I can relax more mentally, because I feel light and scattered. I'm not thinking about just 1, 2, or 3 things. I can think about a lot of things, but I still feel fixed. I still feel that all of those thoughts and ideas even if they are from different areas, they are directed to one purpose, the expression of my individuality.
Indeed.
And that is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And that second point lead us to the third point, also brought by me, but I want to hear Miss Daarya's opinion on this one. I want to hear if she agrees with me or not, which is the third topic of today. The world just got more FFA. That means that the world just got more free for all. You know what I'm saying? Just, it's a free for all right now. There is a lot of opportunities for you right now, for everybody right now. So, but the key thing is the world got more free for all, got more. So the world was already enough in a free for all space, but it got more. What do you think about that, Miss Daarya?
I think that's interesting, because right now all the infrastructures and ways that you can make money and can get your information and spread information is very wide, is very you can connect with so many individuals and be able to support them through so many other platforms that are out there. I'm talking on the internet specifically, but also with the various infrastructures that are in the Magic Square and and in the cities and things like that are getting less functional right now, and they have been, but right now I guess they are getting more dysfunctional, more unvaluable.
So there is more space for your system to be functionable and stable. And I got the idea from this topic for a recent shift that I felt in the world, because you go through shifts, you changing all the time, and the world as well. But sometimes there is a bigger one, or you personally, individually, you feel it more, or you are more aware of a certain specific shift, right? And I felt, or I realized, that the world right now is going into a direction of more openness, where if you really put time in yourself, in the things that you really like to do every day, and you are smart about it, you apply the right amount of energy in the right areas with your heart, because we're going into Cancer season right now, you can make it grow. But keep in mind, I have that Libra rising, so my Cancer house, my Cancer constellation, when I was born, was going through the 10th house. So this season for me is very about business, and that's why Libra is that sign of balance. And if you have Libra rising, you bring a lot of balance. And that, because you have to know, that's what I'm seeing it. For everybody and for you listening right now, it might not be easy to see that way, because Cancer season, the sun being in Cancer, makes us pay more attention to comfort, to do something that is already there, or to create a new way to feel about something that was already there, or keep working. You change a job, but it's on the same area that makes you feel comfortable. And right now, it's a great time to change, but still be stable. And you can create a new stability very fast. You can create a new business very fast. Not a huge business, but you can create it and find the right foundations for it. And especially if you were already working on something for yourself, from yourself, right now that can expand super fast. Right now that can find a lot of followers. It can find a lot of fish to go to your pond. Okay, so take your opportunity once again. I think I already mentioned this on past episodes. Go for it. Take your chance. Take your opportunities, because the world just got more open. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said earlier on today's episode. It's easier to be seen. It's easier to be heard. I feel people want to be more open. People want to connect with new things. And when I say people, I say the masses. I think the masses, are ready to be open to astrology, numerology, but keep in mind, this is a shift,
Yeah.
and there will be a next shift very soon. The world is always changing in small, medium, and big ways. So, if you're listening this right now, do it in your heart at least, because that will bring you a lot of investment in the future. Because and it's Cancer season, it's fourth house, it's heart space.
Yeah.
So that's the first space you need to change right now. It's in your heart.
Yeah, indeed.
How you see able or unable to connect with others and the world. Because the world is very open right now, but are you open right now?
Yeah, are you open to connect with the world? Are you open to express what you are emotionally into? What are you connected to, and be able to express that? And if that's something that you don't want to feel connected to, release that, even if it means by expressing that to the world, you know?
Yeah.
And transforming that and bringing a new business, a new way
Yeah.
to go about
You
your
can, you can even be a new hater, and you
Yeah.
gain a lot of followers because you're hating on somebody.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
you're so funny in your hating that it doesn't even seem hate.
True. Because remember that Cancer season is emotional, it's sentimental, comes from the subconscious, or comes from a more logical, a bit more confused way to perceive. I don't say wrong, a bit more confused, a bit less clear way to perceive things. So when you express yourself in a more goofy way or in a more emotional way, the world is already open to receive that. So even if you find resistance, it will be in an emotional, goofy way as well. But not as in Gemini season. It was more like, fuck it. It's more connective. It is more meaningful and purposeful. Because remember, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, you know?
Yeah.
As well.
Indeed. And I just thought that Sagittarius is in conjuncting Cancer.
Yeah.
So there might be some misunderstandings as well with that.
Wisdom, knowledge,
and what you
traveling
travel through.
Yeah, what you travel through. Yeah, because in Tarot, the Cancer constellation is represented by the Chariot.
The carrier.
Yeah, so the Chariot is used to travel, and then the Chariot has wheels, and those wheels are the representation of Jupiter in Tarot, which is the wheel of fortune. Get it? And Jupiter is exalted in Pisces. Jupiter rules Pisces, but it's exalted in Cancer because you have a more structured place. The Chariot, you have a more stable place to travel in, because traveling through Jupiter in Pisces and Sag is less stable. It's less grounding. It's more expansive. While with Cancer, it's exalted. So you are like, it's like Jupiter is, or that they start in Jupiter around that time of Cancer time. So it means you're still rising. You're seeing things for the first time. So because it's like Cancer is like a shell that it's opening up. So it's sturdy and it can travel through more rough times, while Pisces and Sag, they are already open. They are already very flexible. So that Jupiterian energy in Cancer works more like opening the shell or traveling in a more sturdy vehicle.
Yeah, the process of opening the shell. How you go about opening your heart to people, places, and things.
True, indeed. So let's dive in on the fourth topic of today, which is you can use the days when the moon is in water signs, because today the moon is in Pisces at the moment, and you can use the days when the moon is in water signs to reflect on yourself and how you are feeling, all right? And then create a conclusion about what were you doing in the days before the moon was in water. Because water is, even physical water, is reflective. It reflects light, right? So when the moon is in water, whatever is you are feeling It's not for not as derived from the environment, from other people. It's more a reflection of how you were feeling on the days when the moon was not in water, on the past days. So if you feel good when the moon is in water, it means that in the days before you were already taking care of yourself. You were doing things that you were really connected to. You were expanding on yourself and how you love yourself. If you feel weird, undecisive, or if you feel straight bad, it means you were doing that. You were spending more time in those spaces before the moon reached water. Because when the moon reached water, many times people go a bit crazy. They might not express it because it's water, but they might start blaming others. They might start feel weird about a certain relationship. They might start feel weird about something that they are connected to. They might start feeling weird about themselves. But it's not from that day. It's not from that moment. The energy might not come from that sign. For example, the moon is in Pisces right now. So you might be feeling weird about your dreams, illusions, and creativity. But it's not because you were being mutable about it. Being mutable is how you can correct it. Being mutable is how you can lighten it up or transform it into something creative.
Yeah, because just by you realizing that how you are feeling, it's you already expelling that. It's like when you get sick or when you get ill, you expel
Real
certain
shit.
things, and you know that's how you know that you are sick already physically, or in a sense of like it's present in your awareness. You are aware that you are damaged, or that you feel well, that you feel fulfilled, and that all comes from the previous days where you have been expressing, working for something, doing something, because the other elements, which are fire, air, and earth, are all of them have a masculine touch to it, because fire is the masculine of the feminine side, right? And the air and earth is the masculine.
Being
So,
earth, the feminine of,
yeah,
of the masculine.
exactly.
The internalization of the external stimulus.
Yeah. So when the moon goes into water, and water in general
It's completely
is
feminine.
it's you receiving, and based on what you received, you then reflect, and then you show up,
Yeah.
on yourself, on others. If you can't realize it by yourself, you express that to others, or in many ways you can express that. Even if you realize that emotion, you can express that then to others. By you being aware, you are able to heal, and you anyways will be aware because it's your
Yeah.
feelings, but it's, are you taking real awareness and accountability for what you are feeling right now, and
Yeah.
why are you feeling what you are feeling right now?
Especially because then after the moon is in water, the moon will be in fire. So you really see those feelings or the manifestation of those flunked out spaces, confused, indecisive, not loving yourself spaces, not believing in yourself, not believing in all possibility spaces that you were in. So because then when the moon is in water and you realize you were like you feeling weird, you're feeling bad about yourself, it's the best opportunity to correct that in a smoother, more caring, more healing way. Because then when it goes into fire, it can be too rough, too abruptive, or too explosive.
Yeah,
Real shit.
indeed. And people that have water moon are by default already involved in their own things, in their own emotions, in their own feelings.
They manifest people so they can be in their emotions as well.
Yeah, so they can be very creative, they can be all expressive, and being able to show up for what they are creatively into, but also can be very toxic, and be able to express to others how emotionally flunked out they are, and make create a weird mood in the room, or create a weird illusion or disillusion based on whatever they are involved in.
And with that saying, we'll now pass to the fourth and last topic of today's episode, brought up by Miss Daarya, so she will kick it out for us.
Okay, let's go. So the topic for today will be stopping toxic thought patterns, and that was an idea that I thought would be nice to talk about because it's something that I also go through every day. You know, cleaning
It's
your
the bet.
yeah, it's the battle. You are cleaning your own. Generational curses that you haven't been aware of, and now you are aware. So, keeping up with your own subconscious training,
Cleaning
and
some fucked up shit from the past lives.
yeah, past lives, whatever you've been through as a child, whatever you have been through as a spirit, and whatever you are going through right now is the accumulation and the light of whatever you've been doing throughout each and every moment of your lives and many experiences that you've been through, and this is this the peak of what you have been through. So whatever you are aware of right now is the things that you have chose to achieve your desires, to achieve your to accomplish you feeling good, or you getting what you desire, getting to a place where you want. And many times those decisions or choosing those thought patterns might not be conscious, might not be let's say better for you, but at that time that you created that thought and feeling about yourself or about a certain situation, you might have did that for a purpose of cooperating with something, or
Survivability.
survivability, or getting along with someone or something, or getting along with a certain image of yourself that you had to keep up. So you created all types of thoughts and feelings to surround yourself with. And as you go and as you evolve and get more aware of whatever you are doing at the moment and whatever you want to do as a unique individual, you start to notice certain things that are not good for you, and like bad relationships, bad circumstances, situations, wrong place, wrong time that you went through, and you start noticing and you start becoming more aware of the things that are creating that reality and that you are using to create your reality.
Which is the toxic thought patterns.
Yeah, exactly. That's what toxic that's why I call it toxic thought patterns, because it's toxic for you.
And you manifest toxic circumstances.
Exactly. So that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel
It's not
fulfilling.
good.
It's not good. It's not purposeful. It's not for your individuality. You can't express your individuality.
True, because you have to remind that you are not your thoughts, you're not your feelings, you're not your body. Yeah, so you as a spirit, as a space, there was a time that you had no body. Sorry about that. You had nobody, as in nobody literally, and as in nobody to connect with, nobody to call a friend, nobody to call a companion, right? So as a spirit, there was a purpose, there was a reason to exist. And if you keep on those toxic patterns, and if you keep manifesting toxic relationships and events, it is not good. That it's not purposeful. That's why Mysterio was more like, it doesn't feel good. And I was like, no, it is not good.
Yeah.
Because one of the biggest or the more general purposes for a spirit to exist is to get along, is to be together, it's to do things together, it's to be in something, And if you keep manifesting toxic things to be in, if you keep manifesting toxic other spirits to interact with, your spirit will start cursing its own purpose, going into a state of deprivation, And I learned that, or I was aware of that, because you have to remind, I have a lot of air and earth energy, but I'm very spiritual and I'm very subconscious connected. So many things that I already knew, that I was already subconsciously aware of, I get aware of them consciously through art, through relating with others, right? So there was this anime, really really good anime called Magi, Magi, and they have this thing when somebody goes into a state of deprivation because they start to hate their own past. And why they start to hate their own past, or why anybody, any spirit starts to hate their own past? Because they were in toxic spaces.
And they do not acknowledge, or you know, you do not.
They do not stop that. They don't want to. They don't see the possibility to, in the future or in the present, to create a more clear way to be, to exist. And that is stopping the toxic thought pattern.
Exactly.
That's the power of doing that.
Exactly. And the word that I wanted to use was accepting your past, like accepting what you've been through.
Yeah.
That it is what it is, and it's not, oh, it didn't happen. That will never lead you to nowhere.
Or blaming somebody else.
Yeah. That's really you kicking yourself in the foot.
Yeah,
because
true.
at the moment that you are realizing a certain thought that does not benefit your current situation, that does not even benefit whatever you are going through right now, you have to stop and be able to get rid of that thought pattern and bring a new thought pattern that you are seeing yourself accomplishing your individual purpose, your ability to communicate with the world and with the right people, places, and things that you want to involve yourself with, because that's how you bring the right people, places, and things into your place, by you knowing what you want, by you creating the right ways to think about your purpose, about what you are doing, and so you have control even over who you involve yourself with and around and as a team.
Yeah. And I remember another example from an anime called Trigun, where they have this metaphor, they have this allegory of life is like a train, and your ticket is always blank, because when you buy a ticket you have your destination of departure and your destination of arrival. But so if in that allegory, if the ticket is blank, it means you're not limited. The next station where you stop is not determined. It's not predetermined. It's not permanent, it's not predetermined. You can choose right now to change to another station. You can choose right now to change to another direction. And you do that by stopping toxic thought patterns. And just coming back to that point of you start entering depression state, and that is an emotional and mental and then physical response to your spirit is cursing itself.
Yeah, indeed. And that's how you create sabotage.
Yeah.
It's really by you I forgot the point that I was.
Okay. Because then your spirit cursing itself, it's like aka a crime, it's like, because the law that that the masses are under is man's law, but the term law, the concept of law, it's land, air, and water, and it is not come from something that you can't do and you are punished by somebody else. The concept of law comes from something that you do and you are punished by yourself. You hurt yourself, basically, or you miss out on something good for you. That's a true concept of law. When they say the 10 Commandments, that's something that you shouldn't do to make sure you experience in the best way, because they love to do that in movies and art. They love to do that dark versus light thing, and that's what it represents. You are in the middle and you have a choice to go to the dark side or go to the light side, right? And they also misrepresent the dark side, because the dark side just means uh, being more internal, okay?
Yeah.
But in what I'm saying right now, it's you exist. You have a choice to make, or you have many choices to make, and you can choose what's better for yourself, or you can choose what it's not better for yourself. And when your spirit is in a curse, under a curse cast by itself, you always, or 90% of the times, you choose what it's not best for yourself. And when somebody is trying to break the curse, another spirit is excited around you, and that excitement by default is making your spirit move more, right? And that by default tries to break it, that movement breaks the curse, or it makes you to move more and try to get out of that pattern or of that curse. Because remember, cursive, it's like writing, it's certain movements. So when your spirit is cursing yourself, you always curving into yourself, you always bending in in yourself, so you start contracting. It all starts with C, and it leads to cancer physically as well. So I'm that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just going in. But the point is, you stop believing in all possibilities. You stop believing in yourself. You stop believing you can change. You stop believing you can do things different. You stop seeing the world as a changing place.
You are under your own limits and boundaries. And
you're cursing yourself.
Yeah, indeed.
Because you cursing your past.
Yeah.
Because you cursing what you did and what you didn't. And sorry, say so I can.
And the ticket that was blank now is filled with pigment, and it's full of shit, and you can't.
Yeah, full of stations that you have to go through before you reach. No, that's not true. You can go direct to that station.
Yeah. You had a point?
Yeah, I had a point. It's a bit far fetched, but the connection is very straight to like you cursing yourself, your spirit cursing itself, because it's cursing the past, because your spirit is always creating toxic thought patterns. But what is the root cause of that? Okay? We have a good allegory in the Bible for that. When Adam and Eve eat the fruit of good and bad. And that's a very actually powerful and important allegory and metaphor. Because what that means, because in the allegory, after they do that, they are expelled from Eden, from paradise, right? But what does that mean? What that really means is when you, as a spirit that created a mind, you stop experiencing and you stop seeing experiences and feel about that and create ideas and take them to heart. You stop to take them as they are. You stop seeing reality as it is. And you start to judge if it's good or bad.
And that's what fucks up the whole experience.
And that's the whole thing about you shall not eat the fruit of good and bad. And God told them that. And what is God? All possibilities. So if you start to look at the world and yourself and other people as good and bad,
you are taking a part of them and neglecting a part of them.
Yeah, you are neglecting a part of the experience. Yeah. So you are cast from Eden. You are cast away from God, so you are far away from all possibilities, because you're not seeing the whole experience.
So you're not able to create the whole new thought and feeling about something.
You're not holy.
You are not in the ninth dimension. You are now cast straight down to the sixth dimension.
And that's cursing yourself. You are limited to the third, second, and third dimension. You can't even go to fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. You know what I'm saying?
Because now it's like duality.
Yeah, you are just on good and evil. And because there is so much more besides good and evil. And that's not good and bad. It's just limiting.
Yeah,
it's just limiting, and you don't want to be limited.
Real shit.
You want to believe in all possibilities.
And what I see as bad is when you just spend a whole bunch of time in something. You spend too much time into a certain specific thing and you don't want to let go of it. That's when something gets bad, when you have a fruit and you want it to stay for so long
In the
fresh
fridge. Yeah.
or just on the table. I really want this to stay fresh a whole month, and it just starts getting worse next day, and you're like, why
Yeah.
isn't it getting better? You know? But that's a process of you letting go, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. But I wanted to say that allegory because that's one of the main source of toxic thought patterns. You start to think, oh, I was a bad person in that situation, or he or her
Yeah,
were
I
a
was
bad person,
I was the bad guy, and I wanted to be the good girl.
or like, oh, that was a bad decision. No, that was a decision
exactly.
that led you into a place, and in that place there is gems, and there is rotten eggs,
yeah.
and you have a choice to take the gem. You can even make a bomb out of the rotten eggs to protect yourself from wild animals.
Yeah.
For an example. But if you only think that was bad,
Or you
you-
only see
you
that
cast
rotten egg.
everything away from that experience. So you curse yourself, and you are out of the Garden of Eden because you ate from the tree of good and evil, because you cast yourself from all possibilities.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
And that's the main source of toxic thought patterns. That's how you start to curse yourself.
Yeah. There are so many fruits, and you
Yeah,
ate
you-
from that
yeah.
one. That one that.
And
that
now
was
you
the
can't eat
nasty.
from all the other fruits.
It was
Yeah.
nasty for you. It's not even like, oh, it might have been interesting experience. It was nasty. You already knew it was nasty for you.
And because you are quote unquote cast out of Eden, you can't eat all the other fruits that were on Eden because you can't see them anymore spiritually.
You don't see them.
Yeah,
because
you're just thinking if they are good or bad. You don't eat them.
Yeah.
Real shit.
You can't even see them because now you are just looking into that one fruit that you ate.
Yeah.
That's how you
Thinking
how
if it
you
was
limit
good or
your
bad.
perspective.
Yeah.
And that's how we come into a body. That's how we stay in a mind.
Yeah, stuck in a mind. Yeah.
Because the mind doesn't change, but the spirit does.
Or the mind does change, but at a slower rate.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of us spirits creating things like minds, thoughts, ideas, feelings, emotions, memories, and bodies. It's because on the higher dimensions, things happen too fast.
Yeah.
So you experience a lot of things, but very fast.
Yeah.
So the spirit doesn't feel fulfilled. The spirit or the mind that the spirit created cannot process so much information, so much experience in such a short period of time. So the lower dimension is basically a more dense and a more concentrated dimension, aka more stable, more sturdy. That's why a mind is an awareness that doesn't move. So the spirit can spend more time in it and feel safer, feel more comfort, and have more time to experience and learn.
Yeah, real shit.
But that can be not beneficial for you. That's then you get a limited perspective because you want to stay in that comfortable mind, but everybody gotta change.
Exactly.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody gotta change.
Yeah, and that's
every mind, every
and that's
organ.
why when you stay in the same space and you like, you convinced, you used your mind and you convinced yourself that you really want to stay there, but you always experiencing bullshit and you don't want that shit, and shit is not going your way. So you already know that shit is not for you. Is not something that you should be focusing on.
So, don't do it.
Stop
doing it. And it all starts in the mind.
Exactly. Because you made up your mind
Yeah.
for that.
True.
That's how you make up your mind with
To
those
get out of
thoughts.
that.
Yeah. And coming back to the toxic thought.
Yeah, because if you are in
patterns.
a toxic thought pattern, you made that pattern.
Yeah.
You made your way into that
You
maze.
made up your mind to have that
You
in
went
your
there.
spaceship.
Yeah, you went there.
And then it's like, it's there.
So you can get out.
Yeah.
That only proves that if you got in by yourself, it only proves that you can get out.
Exactly.
Because nobody drags you in there.
Yeah.
Nobody.
And you can't blame nobody.
Yeah. You
can't-
walk there.
Yeah.
So it means you can walk out.
Real shit.
As easy as you got in. So we end today's episode.
This one was a quick one.
No, it was about the same time.
Yeah.
It was about the same time.
I feel today's energies are way quicker.
Yeah, more focused
It's
as well.
a square in the sky
How
with
so?
the moon and the sun.
True, but the sun
in
is
Pisces.
cusping.
Yeah,
So
the moon as well will be cusping.
we already have kind of trining energies as well with this square. With the moon and the sun.
More sharp.
Yeah, more sharp. Yeah, we have a gift to initiate new ways to see and feel about the learning process. That's why we so fast on developing on those more spiritual terms, because the moon is in Pisces and the sun is in the Cancer cusp, so that's spirituality and subconsciousness, but we still have a lot of accumulated energy from the Gemini energy, so we have a more logical and clear perspective about all of those things that we are feeling and attached to. That's why we can just take a feeling and expand on it super fast, you know.
Yeah, real shit.
And then Mars and Jupiter in Aries, Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, so we are expressing some things that we were building up, so we already know how to do it. We don't need to ponder and think about it. We just go straight to the point.
Straight in. I agree. So everybody, thank you so much for listening. It was a pleasure being here.
Once again, let's go.
It was amazing. And I wish you enjoyed this podcast. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you so much for sharing and for liking. Make sure to also share with someone that you think would enjoy these matters.
Indeed.
And how we talk about things, how we connect with y'all. Would be also very interesting to know your opinion in the comments down below. And make sure to check out Esoteric Cloud Surfer's link tree in the description down below, as well as my link tree in the description. We stream on Twitch, as well as we have some very interesting and nice services, as well as creative paintings and sculptures in our Instagram. So make sure to check us out. Make sure also to check Esoteric Cloud Surfer's Patreon. He also has exclusive content there. And we'll see you
on the next one.
Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Stay unique and individual through all the times.
Indeed.